What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video that's part of a series where I focus on a specific composer and give you guys my top 10 favorite scores from said composer. And sometimes there's even some honorable mentions. You clicked on the video so you know it. This time around I'm doing my top 10 favorite Alexandre Desplat film scores. He is a composer that I'm a big fan of. I really like his work. Some of my favorite films of all time were scored by him. And I'm excited to give you guys this video, but I want to preface this by saying that I'm filming this on March 21st of 2025. So do keep in mind, if you're watching this video a year or two from now or even longer, this video is as of the here and now. Like, he is a composer that probably will be working for the next 10, 20 years at least. So I'm sure that there will be other scores that will come along that might match the quality of these other scores, because he's just that great of a composer. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up about that. I'll be giving you guys some honorable mentions, then I'll be going from 10 to 1, with number 1 being, of course, my personal favorite score from said composer. Now, it goes without saying, but I know I have to say it every time. This is a subjective video. It's not objective, meaning that my video is going to be different from yours, and that's what's great about film as an art form. And speaking of which, I'm looking forward to seeing your top 10 favorite scores from said composer. So, guys, enough exposition though. Let's get started with honorable mentions. So the first honorable mention, we have The Painted Veil, which is a film that I've only seen once, but the score lives rent-free in my mind. I think it is an excellent score, and I think it's one of the things that elevates the film itself, is because of this beautiful score. It works so well with the imagery on screen, and yeah, the film itself, again, it's solid, very well acted, but that score, I highly urge you to at least check out the main theme for this film. It's beautiful. But yeah, that's an honorable mention. Next honorable mention, we have The Danish Girl. This is a film that I've only seen one time, which was, at this point, almost 9 years ago, or maybe a little bit over 9 years ago. But either way, the film itself I thought was solid. It's very well acted, for sure. But the thing that I absolutely adored about this film is the score. The score is gorgeous. It sounds amazing, and I listen to it every now and then on my way to work. It's a really good score, and I think that it stands up really well. Whilst the film is something that I'm scared to revisit for fear that it might not have aged well, the score itself, I have no fear of such, because it is such a beautiful score. Highly recommend listening to the score at the very least, guys. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Now let's kick things off, guys, from 10 to 1. My number 10, though, we have Moonrise Kingdom. So I'm just going to get this out of the way. You're going to see a lot of Wes Anderson, Alexandre Desplat collaborations on this list. Just have to get this out of the way. The one that I think was really good and also works well with the soundtrack choices is Moonrise Kingdom. I think Moonrise Kingdom, what works so well is that it has a simplicity to the way it's scored, whilst at the same time works so well with the imagery on screen. And there's a lot of memorable tracks for sure, but this is definitely one of those films where it's like, holy cow, that score is amazing. So if you're not a fan of the film, I'm sure at the very least you like the score, and it's because of Alexandre Desplat. So that was my number 10. Next up, my number 9, we have The Tree of Life. So The Tree of Life, one of my favorite films of all time. As of right now, it's in my top 25 of all time. I think it's a masterpiece. Definitely not a film for everyone, but I will say this. If you do watch the film, similar to Moonrise Kingdom, the reason why this film works as well as it does in regards to, besides the filmmaking aspects, such as cinematography, sound mixing, production design, besides all those, it's because of the way that this is scored. Alexandre Desplat's score in this is so good. It's so emotionally riveting, and it works during key moments. Without spoiling anything, it works during key moments that really hit home the emotions of this film. So, again, the film itself might not necessarily be for everyone, but the score, it is. It's a great score, and that's why I have it as my number 9. Next up, my number 8, we have The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. A film that doesn't seem to get talked about too much anymore, which is a shame, because I'm a huge David Fincher fan, and I will acknowledge that this is one of those films that a lot of people look at as one of his lesser work. I think it's a great film, though. I think it gets better with each viewing, and I think that largely that's on the shoulders of Alexandre Desplat's score. I think it, similarly to Tree of Life, works during key emotional moments where if the composer wasn't at the top of his game, those moments probably wouldn't have been sold as much as they were. But thankfully, Alexandre Desplat's one of the best film composers, so during those emotional moments, they work really well because of his score. So I think it's a very underappreciated score. I do believe it got nominated at the Oscars for its score, so I'm glad about that. But I don't really hear too many people talk about the score of this film, which is a shame, because it is a very beautiful score, which is something you'll hear me say a lot about Alexandre Desplat scores. That's because they really are. But yeah, that was my number 8. Next up, my number 7. This is a film that, to my knowledge, I think... Oh, no. never mind. I was going to say this is the film that introduced me to Alexandre Desplat, but there's another one. I'll get into that in a moment. My number 7, though, we have The Imitation Game. So I'll never forget seeing this in theaters, and as soon as the score swelled into sound mix, I knew I was in good hands. I said to myself, yep, this had better get nominated for Best Original Score at the Oscars. And sure enough, it did. Rightfully so, because it's a great score. It works so well. It's a fast-paced film, and thankfully Alexandre Desplat's score matches that tone and pacing with ease. One of his best scores, as you can see, that's why it's on this list. But I'm a big fan of the film, but the score itself also is just so good. So at the very least, if you're not necessarily into history movies, I urge you to at least seek out the score for this film. But yeah, that's why The Imitation Game is my number 7. Next up, my number 6, this is the film that I believe is what really got me into Alexandre Desplat's film scores. And that is my number 6, Zero Dark 30. Zero Dark 30 is haunting. I mentioned how a lot of Alexandre Desplat's scores are beautiful. Zero Dark 30 is a very melancholy-based film score, and it works so well. And it just also showcases his range as a composer, because you listen to the score for this film and how haunting it is, and then you compare it to something like Imitation Game, and you wouldn't necessarily think that it's from the same composer. And again, showcases the range of said composer. I love the score. I think it works really well, especially in the third act, where right before it completely goes silent, because the nice thing about the sound mix is that the third act dissipates pretty much the entire score. But right before that, you have the, I'm trying to say this without spoiling anything, right before the big, I don't want to say reveal, but the big thing that occurs in the third act, right before that, there is a mix of things going on. And the score is just so haunting during that point. And it's such a great track that I really urge people to check out that track at the very least. I'll put it up here because it is without a doubt my favorite track from the film. But yeah, the reason why I'm selling it is because I'm at a loss of words, because that track is easily one of my favorites of all time. I think it is so perfect. And it works so well. Like, I urge you not only to listen to it, but to listen to it whilst driving at night. It's perfect. But yeah, Zero Dark 30, it's my number 6. Such a great score. Now we get to the nitty gritty, top 5 guys. So my number 5, we have Isle of Dogs. So this is a film that I loved. I saw it twice in theaters. I've seen it several times since. As you can see, I own it on Blu-ray. But the score itself, I listen to regularly. In fact, today I was off from work and I had to get my blood drawn. And when I was driving to get that done, I was listening to the score for the film. It works so well, not only just with driving, but also in the film itself. The film itself works even better with the imagery on screen. So many great tracks. In fact, I would dare say that there is not a single track in this that is weak. All the tracks are great, and it's just a great score. I'm glad I got an Oscar nomination for Best Original Score, deservingly so. So if you haven't seen the film, highly recommend it, but I also highly recommend the score itself, listening to it, because it's so good. So that was my number 5. Next up, my number 4, we have Asteroid City. So Asteroid City, it's another film that Wes Anderson directed. He also directed Isle of Dogs. And the thing is with Asteroid City is that when I first saw it, I thought it was just good. Didn't love it yet. But one of the reasons why I wanted to revisit it was because I couldn't get the score out of my head. The score itself, I think it's only like 20 to 30 minutes long, but it made an impact on me because it's very memorable. It works so well with the imagery on screen. And so I said to myself, let me revisit the film. And I'm glad that I did, because with each subsequent viewing, I've grown to love the film more and more. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that the score is so great. That's what made me say, let me give this film a second chance. So I love Asteroid City. I get it that it's divisive, but at the very least, I highly recommend listening to the score because it is one of Desplat's best, in my opinion. And that's why I have it as my number 4. Next up, my number 3, we have The Shape of Water. This is a film that Wes Anderson did not direct. This is, in fact, directed by Guillermo del Toro. And, it's a film that is highly regarded. It's a film that I love. I think it's a great film. Won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Production Design, and I'm pretty sure, I'll have to check afterwards, and if I'm wrong, I'll put it up here, but I'm pretty sure Alexandre Desplat won Best Original Score for this film. It's a great score. It's soothing in many sequences. It feels romantic. It's adventurous in other scenes, and there is a heist scene. And the track itself is about, I think, almost 10 minutes long, and it's an exciting track. It is so good. But yeah, it's a great film, and the score really helps sell that and enforce that. So I love The Shape of Water. I love the score. Highly recommend you listen to it because it's a great score. So that was my number 3. Next up, my number 2, we have Fantastic Mr. Fox. I love this film. It is a masterpiece in my eyes, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that the score is so good. It's so good. And the film also has a lot of soundtrack beats, like lyrical music, but the two go hand in hand. They work really well off each other. And I think that it just goes to showcase his ability as a composer to really hit that home. And those two work seamlessly. But I also just love the tracks. I think there isn't a single weak track in this film. And it's so good. And it takes a lot of inspiration from like Westerns, specifically Sergio Leone films. So that's really cool. I love that those references are made. But yeah, I love this film, and I think the score is fantastic. This is a score that got nominated, and honestly, I would have given Best Original Score to this film. I said what I said. But yeah, that was a film that I also forgot to mention. It was directed by Wes Anderson. And my number 1 is also a film that was directed by Wes Anderson. And I know for 100% fact that Alexandre Desplat won Best Original Score. And for this film, not only was it groundbreaking because I believe this was his first time that he won Best Original Score, but it was also the first time in, I think, like 16 years that a comedy won Best Original Score at the Oscars. And you probably guessed it by me saying that. My number 1 is The Grand Budapest Hotel. You probably guessed it. This is a film that is in my top 10 of all time. It is a masterpiece. It is one of my favorite films of all time. It is the first film that I ever saw as an adult. And it's not even just that fact as to why I love it so much. It's because it is a film that goes in so many different genres seamlessly. And that's thanks to the score by Alexandre Desplat. It is so amazing to see the range of him as a composer with all the different themes and suits that he created in this film. It's amazing. It really is. I think it is his best score. I really don't know if there will be a score that beats this one. As it stands, it's his, in my opinion, magnum opus of scores. It's fantastic. And I'm, again, rightfully so glad that it won Best Original Score at the Oscars. So, love The Grand Budapest Hotel. Love the score. And, yeah, that's my top 10 favorite scores by Alexandre Desplat. Guys, let me know your top 10 favorite Alexandre Desplat film scores in the comment section down below. And, yeah, if you haven't done so already, be sure to follow me on Letterboxd, Patreon, subscription, notification bell, and I will catch you guys later.